So there's two different alphabet styles in this machine. When you go ahead and select the A for the font menu, notice that the first couple fonts look like the fonts from the sewing side, and that is true. When they stitch out, they're very quick stitch, they're not satin stitched, and then when you look down here it says embroidery fonts. So these are the ones that most people scroll down to immediately. Now the 12, 20, and 30 indicate millimeters that these are saved at. So if you kind of need a medium size, pick the 20, start there, and then you can adjust the size up or down. But if you need to really fit a lot of letters in, start with 12 millimeters and go from there. You'll notice you have a nice variety of fonts, but a lot of people say, oh, I want more. So you want to refer to the video we have done on the Viking Quick Font software, which is free for you to download with the purchase of this machine, and how to move designs to the USB stick, and that they will show up right here in this list, and you can pick them as different fonts. So you know all the fonts that are in your computer? Those are fonts that you can embroider, so pretty much unlimitless. So let me just talk about a few things. I'm going to pull up let's just do my name real quick. So we'll do the S and lowercase a, R, A. So we'll go ahead and bring that in. And then I'm going to also bring in, we're going to stitch kind of up here in the upper part of the hoop. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. And then I'm going to also bring in the block alphabet from the sewing side. And you're going to notice that when you go to select these letters, here they come. Like I said, they sew out really quick. One of the things I'm going to show you towards the end of this video is why you might want to turn the trimming in between each letter off. So make sure you watch all the way to the end. Notice that you kind of get brought back over to the sewing side, and I'm going to do these in all capitals, S-A-R-A, and touch OK. When they come back over, you'll notice they came in just like you were sewing them. So they are tilted. So we're going to touch the rotation. We're going to touch the 90 degrees 3 times. Flip it around. And then we're going to go, whoa, that's here. Undo. There we go. Go back to the moving arrows. Then I can drag it over here. You can see by the size, we're definitely a lot different size there. So I'm going to go ahead and do go. We'll get this stitching. And then I'm going to show you both ways. We're going to let this stitch completely out, and then I'm going to re-stitch that second name a second time to show you what it looks like when we turn the trimming in between each letter off. Now notice we're going to get all of those are going to be separate, so if you don't want it to stop in between each letter, remember to push. You can turn the color stops off by de-lighting the stop button. You also have the monochrome feature on screen that you can do. So let's just go ahead, we'll get this started, and we'll let this stitch out. So I'll see you when this is completely finished, and we'll look at the back of the embroidery. You'll notice I went back and added one more style of lettering. This was the Mesa alphabet in the 12 millimeter size. So if you scroll down right here, only because, as I was reminded, when this one sewed out, that was from the sewing side, it actually doesn't clip in between the letters like I was hoping it would show, but it didn't, which is nice. So it actually stitches out really fast without having to worry about the clipping. Let me talk about the clipping. So when you have your machine automatically set to trim between the jump stitches, when you're done, there's nothing to trim, and it's really, really nice. Everything is pulled to the back side. Now when you look back here, you're going to find that people often say, oh, this looks messy. And it usually doesn't look too bad on larger letters, but look what happens on smaller areas. The little tails sometimes kind of get caught in between and stitched down, so it kind of looks messy. So if you don't want that look, let me show you what it is. See how nice that one actually looks? Just all stitched out with the bobbin thread connected all the way through. So what we want to do is go to the settings. The diamond menu, you can go to settings, go to the sewing settings, and turn off the automatic jump stitch trim. So take that off, touch OK, and of course if you don't remember to turn that back on with your next design, you'll notice it because you'll have trimming to do. But you'll quickly go back and turn it on. But with lettering, sometimes I do like to turn that off. So what I'm going to do is just quick stitch out just that last name, the area of the, again. And so that was my third design in. So what I'm going to do is jump down here to design 3. I can always tell which design is where because it starts with 1:1, 1:2, and those are my first design. That's the big Sarah. and then color 2 of 1. That was the middle one, and then starting down here. But I don't want to stitch right on top of it, so just with a quick little design positioning, I can slide this whole thing down just a little bit. Let me go to number 2. And we'll just slide this down, and it will just stitch that little part just right nearby the other one. And you'll notice that it doesn't start with a trim, so that means it's going to come up with a cut and remove thread in. Scissors are on the screen. Cut just the tail you're holding on to, and then just go ahead and let it stitch. What you're going to notice is it's going to stitch actually a little faster because it doesn't stop to kind of slurp that thread down as it goes ahead and stitches. Oh, let's go ahead, put that monochrome section back on, and now I'll go ahead and stitch all the way through all the letters. Oh, yep, I will. Once it starts, now it won't bring up that little message each time. So yes, I do need to do a little trimming in between my letters, but look at how perfect it is on the back. Just the one thread at the beginning and the one thread at the end, and nothing getting stitched in like the one above it.